guard.
Yep. So I'm in the full guard, right? Obviously, last month and change we've been working out of here. We got about this week and next week we're probably going to focus on guard and then start transitioning to half. But this next piece we're going to work on the shoulder crunch. I like this series really for two purposes. One, it's really tight, especially for no-gi. But two, it also gives us a lot of options from other positions. You can use this shoulder crunch. I use it mainly from full guard and butterfly. But there's a lot of different places you could use either this exact move set or this concept, right? So I'm here, me and James are fighting for position, right? All I'm gonna look to do is dig up for that underhook, connecting my hands in that gable grip, right at the cap of his shoulder. Right where the shoulder kind of meets your the back of your collarbone. All right? Now as I do that, I'm gonna look to pull James into the side of me as I open my hips up towards this arm. I'm not just trying to pull him down on top of me. I'm trying to open my hips up so that I'm on my hips and my ribs on this side. Now, once we're here, we're just gonna first work on that reverse arm lock. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look to bring this knee as high up as I can, collapsing it on top of his shoulder blade. As that happens, I'm gonna extend James away and extend the trunk of my body here. A lot of us on Tuesday, we're trying to do it like real crunched up still. I'm extending so that his arm is as straight as I can get it already. Then all we're going to do, our hands that were already connected on the shoulder, we're just going to drag that grip right behind his elbow. If everyone can see kind of the pinchy part of his elbow right here, I'm just above that. You feel your own elbow, there's kind of a V shape right here. That's where you're looking to put your hands. So we're here, I keep my hands connected from that same shoulder crunch, drag it down, and bend. The other reason I'm on my side is so that I'm not just pulling his arm into my chest. While really great for arm control, doesn't really attack the elbow like I'm looking for. So I'm here, I'm off to my side so that I can pull that down. I have that open space to break his elbow. Alright. This way a little bit. So we're here, I'm working with James, boom. I get that, I pull my knees in, bring him down, and I have this control here. Because now I have control of James. If James tries to posture up, I have a lot of control here of his upper body. If he tries to move away from me at all, I just have a lot of nice control and a lot of great options. I'm here, extend. I like to just pinch the knees here. You can keep your guard closed if you prefer. Here, and finish. Questions on this reverse arm lock? Any of you guys who have been here for more than 10 minutes have seen this arm lock before? Just from a variety of different positions. It's one of my favorite submissions. Questions on this? Mr. Hensley.
So, you get his thumb in the right direction.
Yes.
Are you focusing on like turning his
Yeah,
arm?
so let's say James doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu, right? Like that's always kind of, we have to assume that, right? So I'm here. James is going to start manipulating this arm. Now there's going to be times where this is going to be an impractical armbar, right? Like you're going to have to go to other options. But if I get here and James's arm is just slightly out of position, I will always come bottom hand, kind of monkey palm it here and turn it. Because then I'll just go monkey palms on top. And I'll use that with traditional arm bars as well. Because you can finish there, and if it's not there, you just switch back to your grip. So I'll just go monkey palming it to here, and then I'll just collapse on top. But obviously, if he's really got it, twisted all the way thumb up, and you're here, realize that there is the swing option as well. So, and there's going to be the next option we're going to anyway. But if his thumb, like let's say his thumb is just kind of pointing this way and I just don't, I can't get the pressure right. Monkey palm grip, turn it, finish. Like it's just as effective, it's just a slightly different grip. And with no-gi it's really easy to do because that that monkey palm just naturally will collapse on his elbow. Even with my baby hands it works. So. Other questions on this?
I know the next step of this, we drop the shin over the back of his neck.
Yes.
Is it wrong to just be there already with your shin there?
Reason I am not going to go shin over the head until I'm ready to attack that arm bar. So for those of you who are here Tuesday, you're a step ahead, right? You already know what the hell's going on. So the reason I do not like to go here is he's going to start escaping if you're not immediately attacking him. So if I'm here, I have a good shoulder pinch. Let's say James is turning his arm. I'm working here and I just start bringing the shin over. It's going to give him that escape route earlier than I want him to have. Because I'm going to bait that roll eventually for that arm bar, right? Like I'm a step ahead of him that way. But I can't cut him off at the pass if I'm not attacking that arm bar. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not wrong, but you can get countered easier.
Sure.
So.
If they, I didn't think about this on Tuesday, but if they, say when you're raising the arm and you're shrinking out down your side, if they kind of beat down there, they start to beat it, and you feel like it's kind of, they might get past at some point. Are you even worried at that point when you have this?
So like if I'm here and he starts to try to beat this leg,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go into like a butterfly hook. Because I like, this shoulder crunch I use more out of butterfly hook.
Yeah.
Most of you guys who have rolled with me have seen this exact thing happen. We're here, James grabs my head, I go here, here, and here. Like this exact same technique works from butterfly guard. So if he starts to beat that leg, I'm not gonna let him actively pin it or anything like that. I'm gonna look to set that straight for butterfly. So as I come here, he starts to beat that leg, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go back to beating it with a butterfly hook and then re-engaging it to the guard, or just keeping it as a butterfly hook because that's just as effective. Other questions on this? Driller out. Oh, one more time through. All right, we're here. Boom, we're working, I'm working. Boom, I get here. I open my hips up, I get to this side, right? Good crunch here. I extend him away, knee high, good knee pinch here. As we're here, our hand comes back to our grip, right above the elbow, we hold down. Questions, comments, concerns? No? 1, 2, 3. So this next one, we're gonna need a little bit more space for tonight. So we're here, I get with James. Boom, I dig, I get my shoulder lock, right? Boom, I get here and I start to go for this arm, but for whatever reason, it's just not working, right? He's got the wiggle worm arm, he's got Gumby arms, there's 1,000 things that can go wrong here, right? So I don't like that, and I want to continue attacking, right? We want to attach as many attacks at once as we can. So one of my favorite options here is just to follow the arm. So all I'm going to look to do is, I'm going to post up and pop up to this arm. As I do that, I'm going to put my shin right to the back of his neck. What that's going to entice him to do, because he's going to feel a lot of pressure here, is roll. As soon as he lands, cross your foot back over, pinch your knees, finish an arm bar for mount. So we're here. Boom. I get here, I'm working. Boom. As I start to come here, I'm going to look to post up onto this shoulder. That's what allows this shin to not be pointed this way, but to be pointed down and around. Here. Because one of the big mistakes I kept seeing on Tuesday was a lot of our shins were pointed away from our opponent. I want it here. Because if I fall here and James doesn't roll, all you have to do is finish the armbar from here. This is just as effective. And as you go to finish this, it'll entice James to roll here. Boom. Bop. Bop. Nice part is you can either finish it truly belly down or anticipate that roll and get him going forward. Questions on that so far? I'm going to walk through it a bunch more. Questions on it as we see it now.
What did you mean by post your shoulder?
So, now you might have seen a drill like this where you come up to your shoulder here and move your hips. Allegedly, there's a warm-up drill for that, right?
I thought you were.
Yeah, no. But this that's what I'm talking about is I'm here. I'm using this shoulder to come up so that this shin isn't pointed that way. It's pointed down. That's what's going to allow me to entice that roll and bring it through. The other skill that this isn't utilizing from our warm-ups is those side rolls. So when I talk about being able to do this side roll being important, it's because on moves like this, where I have to drive him through, I still have control of everything. That's why those type of warm-up drills. If you're ever like, man, why do we crimp and roll and forward roll and back roll and do all these weird warm-ups? One, you need to warm up before we do all this, right? But two, a lot of the motions that we're using, 9 times out of 10 have a very practical application. The only one I don't think has an immediate, like, oh, you should definitely do that in a match is like a backward posted roll. Now, there are things that I will use a backward type roll for, but I don't think you should like post up to your hands and come back to your feet that way. You can do that in the match, we're wasting our time, right? Just showing off at that point, don't be a dick. But when we're here, that's using a lot of those simple motions that we warm up with, right? Getting our hips out in that shrimp, coming over the top, posting to that shoulder here, using that to roll. As that rolls, boom, popping here. Big thing here, I attach that to my chest early and often. I pass that shin back over, extend my hips. Remember, we do not pull the lever, we attach and extend our hips. If you pull the lever, it's my arm versus James's arm. James curls, he does a lot of weightlifting, right? I don't. I don't have time for it. I'm in a better position, but that's going to be versus stronger guy, bigger guy. You're tired, they're not. All the different problems you can run into. That's not a fight I want. I don't fight fair. You're attached to my hips now. Your bicep versus my hip. Good luck. I can hip thrust quite a bit. Alright. Other questions on this armbar? Mr. Hensley.
How much pressure are you putting with the shin? Are you just keeping tension?
So, I'm not kicking his head through, but I'm keeping a solid amount of your head staying down. So at no point could James bring his head up once my shin gets there. But at no point am I trying to kick it off, if that makes sense. There's a weird line there, but that's what I'm trying to do is keep his head down. Because if his head can come up, he's going to naturally try to defend that way. Come here, James. Boom, I get here. And boom, and I don't really have pressure here. James is going to start turning that arm and coming up. So I'm keeping that pressure down so that his head stays down more than anything. That's what I'm looking for with that shin. Your head is down and it's going to take too much time and effort to get it up for that to be your escape strategy. Basically, it's I'm trying to anticipate your reaction. If I go to this armbar, I know that you're going to roll, which I know is going to allow me to do this. They chose the door on the left. It doesn't matter because I still get to murder you at the end of this book. Choose left, choose right. I still get to kill you, right? Other questions?
Is there any way, kind of like whether it's him just not reacting in time or something you do with like extending your hips to where you're before he rolls, you can just it doesn't even matter. You can bring it in.
Yeah. Oh, when I'm belly down on this, if James does not dive.
Well, yeah, I know the roll buys time, but I'm saying like as he's rolling, like to where you just have it belly down to where it doesn't.
Oh, when my hips come over the top, it's heavy at that point.
Yeah.
So realize from the second I get to here, I'm already pressured down. Like the only thing that's saving James is I like James. Like right now, if I want, James's wrist comes this way and it breaks. And if I do this with a little bit of a fuck you, right? That we talk about in competitions. Right? I come through, I'm going to lose his arm, but I do that. He doesn't have his time to roll here. It just pops.
Oh, so you just go on your hip regardless, so you're not fully belly down.
Yeah, I'm going to come here, and I'm going to break your shit, or you roll. Now, when he rolls, all that's doing is relieving the pressure minorly. I'm still in. There was, at any point during that roll, did pressure relieve? Right? My goal is, I have that tight from the second my hip comes over the top. From that point till his tap, we're in an arm bar and you need to be in a hurry to get out of it. Does that make sense? Like at that point when I follow that hip over, it's in and we're after it.
You're not waiting for it. You're just going to break it.
No, I'm breaking your shit early and often. We're not friends about it, right? Like, Here, I'm going to give you enough courtesy time to tap. If we're in a competition, especially the higher level ones, there's not that courtesy time to tap. There's you better yell and hope I hear you. Alright, one more time through. We're here, I'm fighting, boom, I dig up, I get my shoulder crunch. Boom, I get here, I'm trying for this, it's not working, right? All we're going to do, boom, I come up, follow the arm through, I anticipate the roll, finish the arm bar. Remember on the arm bar, pinch the knees, extend the hip, attach to your chest. Alright? 1, 2, 3. Alright. So I'm here with Mr. Hackett. We get here, I get going, I get to this shoulder, right? Boom. I'm looking for attacks. But let's just say for whatever reason, it's just the arm attacks aren't there for whatever reason, right? Like that'll happen. James has got Gumby arms, they're strong. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta choke a motherfucker, and that's just life, I guess. So we get here, all I'm gonna look to do is I'm gonna look to frame James away. As I do that, I'm gonna look to bring this knee out. Because as I do that, I'm gonna pull James back in, right into your triangle. So we're here. I get that frame up. I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna still look like I'm trying to attack you, right? No, you know, I'm gonna attack your arm, right? All right. Bop. Here. And a lot of guys will think, oh shit, I'll scoop his leg and do all that, right? Boom. Claps that right back on top into your triangle. Now, just for triangle refresher, once you get back to here, arm across, grab your shin, cut your angle, shin not towards his shoulder, straight across, arch your foot, right? We're here. Boom. All we're looking to do is I'm still looking to extend him away, and I'll even try to like kick this arm. I'll make it a little bit of a, hey, I'm really trying for this. But as soon as that's here, I'm going to use this to swivel hard and come right back for this triangle. Now, 9 times out of 10, you won't be able to lock back perfectly, right? But you'll get your feet crossed, boom, then you can start attacking. Questions on that?
Can we see it from this side so we can see the...
Yes. Oh, this way. Watch the spin. So boom, we're here. Boom, I get to here, right? I'm still attacking this arm. I'm gonna, kick and do all that. All we're looking to do though, is I want his neck right in the pit of my knee. So I'm gonna reach for it. I'm gonna find that neck and bring it back to me. Throw that bad boy off.
Quick question. Will you go back to where his head is near your knee?
Mm-hmm.
So if your head is up more.
So if his head's up more, that helps me in this. So like if I'm here, boom, James starts posturing his head up. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Like you're just following that.
I didn't know if it.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Like his head, because some of this I'm trying to bait a little bit. Because sometimes, like I'll get here, and sometimes guys will grab the back of my head. That's a pretty common defense for this. Is they'll just kind of start scooping the back of my head, which is going to make getting their arm extended hard. They're going to start repositioning their hips and doing all that. So I'll look to go here, to kind of kick that arm out, and when that doesn't work, bop. So that's why I like this triangle quite a bit. Just another entry into those basic submissions. Because like I said, the goal is to have, once you get to a dominant position, have an options bar that you can open up 4, 5, 6 submissions long. That way, regardless how James reacts, he's wrong. So for this one, we get to this shoulder crunch. James tries to kind of just slink his head away and try to slide out of it. Boom. Perfect. Go to the reverse arm lock. He tries to curl my head and hold on to my arm. Boom. Perfect. I come up for that arm bar. He tries to start kind of pushing this leg down and try to start doing stuff. Boom. Perfect. I don't care what you do. I beat you. I sub you. That's always the goal. Questions on that? Bite it into a triangle. 1, 2, 3. So I'm here. Boom. We get here. I attack. I get here. But let's say, for whatever reason, I start to go here, and I just can't seem to get this leg out. A lot of times guys are going to do exactly what James did. They're going to start cupping this hip and this knee here so that they kind of have control of that leg. And a lot of them are going to start to try to manipulate this arm to get it out of the way. So all we're going to look to do here is instead of passing the arm in front and attacking it this way, all I'm going to look to do is tuck it in my hip pocket here. Now once we tuck it in this hip pocket, there's a variety of options. We're just going to attack the simplest one. Our hand is going to monkey palm that elbow. I'm going to look to pull that elbow down. I'm going to look to find the back of his wrist. I want to turn his thumb up, and I want to shoot it up my thigh here. So I'm here. We're attacking. I'm doing things. I try to kick this out, right? All I'm going to look to do, I'm going to rotate this all the way here and find this wrist. As I find this wrist, I'm going to attach it into my hip pocket. And slowly, because I like James being able to wipe his own butt, slowly start to turn my knee over, pinching my knees here, and crank this way. Now, if they're super strong, you may have to actually reach for like the true Kimura grip here and turn. But for speed purposes, I like just cup in here. And remember, if you need new enemies in life, wrist lock. Kat's favorite thing to do is get wrist locked. So if you're ever trying to make her real happy with you, just wrist lock the shit out of her.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So boom, I get here, I open up, I start attacking this arm, right? It's not working. All I'm going to look to do is I will monkey palm rotation. Because I want him to start feeling like he can escape this arm. So that way when it comes here, pushing that here. I'm collapsing this into my hip, rotating that up here. And like I said, always wrist lock with that hey girl wrist lock. Hey girl. Listen, if you don't think I yell hey girl at you and we wrist lock the shit out of people, you're wrong. Because you all laugh, but you all know exactly what I'm saying. Questions on this one? Like I said, you can feed the hand in and go for like a traditional Kimura lock. I like just having this modified grip set because it gives me better speed, which is going to be the surprise on this technique. So when I get here and we're working, boom, bop, I'm here. It's already starting to get tight depending on James's shoulder mobility. But the second I start putting this up and I attach down, James is in a lot of trouble here very quickly. Questions on this?
I have a question.
Yes.
That arm is super long and it's like reachable. Okay, so I've gotten in this position, right? And you're reaching around to grab his wrist, right? If they're really long and you can't get
Grab their forearm. Who do I have this? James?
Not me.
James isn't my lanky fucker. So Mr. Hensley here got a little gangle to him, right? He's not Eli, but he's got some gangle to him. He played a little ball back in the day. Shot some hoops, right? I get here, boom, right? He's got a lot of length. So one, you're gonna have to focus on that hip and trunk extension. That's gonna help you a ton. But two, I'm still looking to put this back here. And even if I can't reach his wrist for whatever, like Eli has got that gargantuan.
You're not reaching the wrist behind your neck, you're reaching it when it's here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I'm here, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to rotate this here so that his arm turns. Then I'm going to go find his wrist or find that forearm at some point so that it's here. Once I get it here, then it's rotate, then it's turn, then it's wrist lock, whatever's available.
Gooseneck.
I like the hey girl better. Gooseneck is the technical term, but hey girl is such a better name. Other options? Other ideas? Questions, comments, concerns?
See one more time.
One more time. We're here. We're working. Boom. I get here. I open my hips up. Boom. I'm going to connect here. Extend that trunk. As soon as we can, I'm going to look back and reach for the wrist. Here. Collapse the elbow down. Collapse the wrist up. If you can, throttle that wrist forward. Makes that just a lot tighter, a lot quicker. Realize this, I want his elbow attached almost to like your belly button hip range. It makes where that's a lot easier. Because if his elbow's way up, like yeah, it takes a lot longer. But if I just collapse this down, a lot quicker, a lot easier. A lot harder to defend. Remember, you do right, no can defend. All right, 1, 2, 3.